Welcome back to Spike Piledriver. My name is Anders, and don't adjust your TV or mobile phone. This is not Total Extreme Wrestling 9. We're going back to have a look at Pro Wrestling Sim, a game I haven't played for well over a year, and I'm just going to go and have a look and book a show on a new save and see how things are going, because there's been a lot of development on the game in the past 18 months, I guess, and since I last played it. So we'll see what it's like and see how it compares to Total Extreme Wrestling 9, which hadn't launched when I last played Pro Wrestling Sim. So we'll just go through and do it. And as you can see here, we are starting a 2006 save set in June with One Night Stand as the first show to book. And it's interesting to note that I've literally started the save game. I've downloaded the database and, well, by doing the database also got the pictures through the Steam Workshop. So I've literally just clicked the button to subscribe and it's there. It's here. I've not had to do anything else since that. And speaking of subscribe, make sure you are subscribed to this channel to watch me and my videos. We've got a local to global save on Total Extreme Wrestling 9, which is carrying on. We have previously had a WCW 2000 save on TW9, which is just finished a couple of weeks ago. We're going to do videos a bit like this, maybe. Maybe we'll do some Pro Wrestling Sim videos as well. We're going to have a look at another booking games, and if you've got ideas of random wrestling games or random wrestling booking games that you want me to check out and do a video on, whether I played them in the past or not, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know your thoughts about Pro Wrestling Sim, because I know a lot of you play it, or maybe have played it in the past and are thinking about coming back to it after playing with TW9. So just let me know your thoughts. And without any further ado, I'm just going to have a look around the game. We're going to probably spend 10 minutes or so before we go into booking the show. I'm probably just going to book One Night Stand, quite similar to the actual show as well. But we'll just have a flick around the menus, get a little bit more familiar. Obviously, the only thing I've done in the last year and a half on this game is yesterday I downloaded the mod and started the save up just to make sure it worked and the pictures were linked. And that's it. That's all I've done. And it just was seamless. So Steam Workshop, if you just subscribe to something on there, it works fine. Right, let's look. We've got no mail or news because it's literally the first day of the game. But the office screen itself is nice. It gives you a good, simple overview of everything about the company. Gives you a very pretty calendar. Shows you the shows. You can filter by promises and expiry dates for contracts as well, and also just shows. So all the shows come up with a show logo. It looks nice and modern. That's the main thing about Pro Wrestling Sim. It might not be as deep, and we're going to probably go into that a little bit more. It might not be as deep as Total Extreme Wrestling 9, but it is very pretty and looks like a modern game and plays nicely, or at least it did, and was seamless. So there we go. That's the home screen. Essentially, you go up there to book your event. You can click on a show here to pre-book the show, which we'll do a little bit of. That drops the menu down a little bit rather than going back. But we'll look at that properly in a few minutes. So we can have a look through our roster. This is the all workers. This gives you an idea of who is in the game. And if let's just look at AJ Styles, for example. You can see AJ Styles here with his face, his stats, his skills, popularity, condition, bit of about page as well. There's no need for a bio. The bio's here as well. Contracts. You've got a written contract with TNA, informal agreement with ROH and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Shows you his current and past accolades, so title wins, all of his PWG, NWA, ROH, TNA, PWG World Champion currently for the last 417 days. Any news items will come here. Any previously known chemistry will pop up here. So there's chemistry with John Cena, even though it's before Styles joined the WWE and fought John Cena. But with Daniels, Joe, Nakamura, you can see relationships here, the positive ones, and then you go down to match history, moveset, and you can set entrance themes as well, apparently. That's new. I don't remember that being there before, or if it was, I never used it. But there you go. You can just sort of do that with, there's Adam Pearce. And I mean, you can search for, let's search for Raven, seeing as we're doing an ECW save. There's Raven. He's got a written contract with TNA. These are his stats, his popularity, again, everything. He doesn't like Vince McMahon. Well, who can you blame him? Raven effect is apparently a slam move. Even flow DDT, that's the Raven effect, right? Anyway, Raven is a big star on my local to global save, so you know, I like Raven. Speaking of other big stars, let's have a look at Mark Merrow. He's not even in the game anymore. Look at that. Rob Van Dam, is he around? Of course he is. He's on the ECW roster, so yeah, he's got a written contract with the WWE. You can see his accolades there. And yeah, so you kind of get the idea. There's attributes here. You can hover over and it gives you an update of what it is. or rather tells you what each one is, if it's got anything it needs basically an explanation of what it is. But there we go. You can do the same with promotions. Obviously, there's... Yo, monkey boy, listen up. If you ain't all jacked up, then hit the bricks and subscribe to some other loser. But if you are jacked and you are ready to let someone feel the bang, then subscribe to me. It's not like there's a choice anyway. You can see a table rather than the cards for the roster. It splits it by main event. Upper mid card, hey D'Lo, how you doing? Tajiri's there. Mid card, lower card, all the way down to backstage staff, announcers, etc., etc. You also do the same on tag teams, titles. Let's do TNA whilst we're here. TNA titles, we've got Christian Cage should be the end. Yeah, so Christian Cage is the NWA World Champion currently. TNA X Division Samoa Joe. Tag titles held by the Wildcat Chris Harris and Cowboy James Storm, America's Most Wanted. I nearly forgot what they were called for a second then. But you can see your little titles there, and you can see the storylines, relationships, events, all of those with their logos, network deals, so you can see what's on, news and history and everything like that you'd expect on the normal page. There's relationship page, event history, obviously it's empty because we're just starting the save. Awards, again, empty because we're just starting the save. Then we go down to our own roster, and the thing I really like is, even at a glance, you can see who your champions are. You've just got a little logo there for the title. There's Bobby Lashley, current US champion. Got his brand behind him. He's got his face. Got his title belt, which makes it bigger when you hover over it. Again, you can see the same sort of thing. You can see his contract. You can see his push, his disposition, whether he's babyface or a heel. Manager, if he's got one. Then there's a slider here. Well, not a slider, sort of a graphic here for his morale and his momentum. So as you wins, yeah, a win-loss record as well. Nice and easily to see. Got his moveset, everything you see on the regular work page. It's just with this added contract pay. What is it? A box? No, it's not a box, is it? It's a block? Card? Card's probably the right word. I'm old, I don't understand. Yeah, I think it's card. Adds in here for the contract. Same with Brian Kendrick, who's a tag champion over on SmackDown. You can filter here by push, so you can just see your main eventers, and it will seamlessly, if you can go down, you don't have to click as well, you can use your keyboard. When there's a manager, you can see there's Lita managing Edge, John Cena's WWE champion there, and you can see angles on ECW brand. Yeah, you get the idea. You can also filter by its position, gender, contract type, brand. So you got that's the ECW brand. Not many people on there at the moment, but you get the idea of what you can do when you've got a big roster. And you can filter things out a little bit, and there you can see who's not on a brand as well, like so. Commentary, again, as you'd expect, these are your default announcers for when there aren't any commentators. You get your default announcers for Raw, for SmackDown, for your brands, basically for ECW. Then for individual shows, you can set them as well. You can even set them for the events, like if you want SummerSlam to have a specific set of announcers that aren't your default announcers, you can set it in here and just select them. You can have 4 people on your announce team as well, which is slightly ridiculous, but if you want to have 4 people on your announce team, you can do it, so why not? Developmental, here are everyone who's on a developmental contract, so if you've got a developmental contract, you can do so here. So there's CM Punk, he's probably going to be on the ECW brand if I did this save for a long time. You can see all of the same sort of cards that you'd expect to see, except we haven't got this contract one here, and if we click here, we can recall from development, which we might do. Actually, we might stick him on the one night stand card. We'll get to that. Although we don't need to recall him from development to do that. If I remember, you can just bring him in anyway. Medical. Anyone who's failed your wellness policy will be here. Workers out of action, drug tests, etc. on that page. Promises when you make them will show there. Backstage morale, generally pretty positive, 100. Relationships, worker effects. There you can see how much of an effect they are having as well. And various staff members providing order backstage, and then relationships between workers there as well. They're relatives, a little flag when they're relatives as well and not just friends. Right, brands we've kind of already touched on, but that's just another view of who's on each brand, and from here you can modify the brand, so you can change the name, change its importance, change the logo, etc. Storylines, we haven't added any. I don't know whether you need to have them to fully play the game, but it will probably help build popularity in a worker, good enough heat, and it will give everyone a boost. So there we go. Stables again. Oh, there's the Spirit Squad. Hi, Spirit Squad. And M&M. There, you can just go in and change them, add a logo, add workers to it, change the name, who's the leader, etc. Although there's no leader, that's fine. Or if you want to create a stable, you can go in and add people to a stable as well. Tag teams, similarly, and you can see your inactive tag teams as well. All as you'd expect. Championships, we've got our current championships here with a champion. The only thing I'd change about this potentially is have a photo of the champion, maybe in this space here, just so you can see without looking at words, because, visually it'd be easier. All the championship belts are here. I don't believe championships are locked to a brand. They're more locked to whoever's the champion and whatever brand they're on. So I don't think you can set or need to set a champion that way. But championships do float as well, so if you've got a relationship with another company, you can have their championships on as well. Nice and straightforward. So potentially we could have the OVW title being defended on ECW, for example. And you also got non-defendable titles. These are like accolades or tournaments, like the Royal Rumble or King of the Ring will be on here. Money in the Bank is on here. So you get the idea. You can see the title history here of all the ones that happens. And do the same on the normal titles as well. Just title history there shows you how many days they were champion for, when they won and lost it, etc. And then inactive titles. So what we're going to do in here is, for some reason, there's 2 ECW ones. We're going to activate this one because it's the real one, rather than I think this is what actually will get activated as a separate title. Anyway, we'll do that. And there's also the TV Championship, ECW Tag Champs, King of the Ring, $1 Million Championship, and all the WCW titles as well. Former championships like the European Hardcore and Light Heavyweight. So what I'm going to do, whilst we're on this page, because we're going to have RVD win the ECW title, is we're going to reinstate, nice and simple, reinstate that championship. So it pops up here, top of the list. Not got much prestige, but we will improve upon that in the future. And it's currently vacant for 9,658 days, which is interesting. But anyway, that's fine. Tournaments, you can add tournaments in here. You can do elimination tournaments or round robin tournaments. And set the points for win, lose or draw. Set the competitors. Do the you kind of get the idea there. Win-loss rankings. Obviously, when we've had some shows, they'll be in there. Events. This is where you can add or edit events, and you can set them to be for brand exclusive, how long they are, whether they're active, how important they are, when they occur, how they recur, also like that. And you can change the logic for the AI and where to hold it and the match types that are happening here. So if we go onto the Royal Rumble, you will see there will be a Battle Royal for a specific title included in there. You can see that. And then also, I think this is before Money in the Bank was its own pay-per-view, so it will be at WrestleMania. You can see ladder match, Money in the Bank, required match for the WWE Championship as well. And you can set whether you can face, so you can do a champion versus champion match for a specific title as well. That's new. I'm not sure that was in there before. WrestleMania happens first Sunday of April every year. It's still obviously one night, WrestleMania, so that's good. If we get to Night of Champions, where's Night of Champions? Was Night of Champions a thing yet? It wasn't, was it? It was just Vengeance at this point. So I'm going to say, is there like an option to have required matches? Yeah, we'll do that. Right, anyway, that's just for AI logic anyway. Network deals, we're going to touch, in fact, inactive events, is there anything on here? Velocity, King of the Ring. Okay. Network deals are just, you can see which networks each show's on. I don't think Raw was actually on Channel 4 at this point in 2006. It was definitely on Sky Sports, but ignore that. Sky Box Office has got the pay-per-view events, or annual or monthly premium events as they're called. ECW's got a network, Heat's got a network. Highlight shows, if you had any, and shows without a network deal there. Finances, we aren't going to touch into that, but there's a breakdown of finances and a graph to show you. Merchandise, again, not enough information to talk about just yet. Production, this is where there's lots of different options, and it will help distinguish what you can do and how much you can grow and how good your shows can be for all the various things. We're not going to change anything right now, but you can improve your pyro to get a better score. You can improve your video editing and production, improve the writing, or get if the talent write their own things, that sort of thing. It shows you the total cost per month, which might just be behind my head a little bit, but we'll get to that. And then the max show score percentage you can get there as well. Part marketing, back office, music, camera quality, stage. There's lots of options, basically. And that is the last of the items on the list. So you can minimize that bar so it's just logos and it will expand when you hover over. So if we do that, we'll go to back to the office and start looking at One Night Stand and what we're going to do here. So we have got a way you can sort the order here as well. So we're going to sort it by push. So we're going to have people on the show. So what we can do, if I can remember how to do things, we can add matches, add angles, add an angle template, change the venue. We're not going to be a large arena in Illinois. We want to be in New York. And is the Hammerstein Ballroom around? There it is. We want to be the Hammerstein Ballroom as our venue. So you can select that in advance. It will cost, I mean, we could potentially, I can have a lot bigger attendance if we wanted to. Show costs will update as you go through and add people to the show. And we'll do a couple of shows, then we'll cut the camera off and get to the full show as well, because we're not going to spend we'll spend ages booking the show, because I'm sure I'll mess things up, essentially. No active story or storylines to flag there, but it shows you what there is. We'll just add the matches. Right, so you can just drag and drop in here. So we want the main event. If we sort by push, we want RVD, and if you drag it into the right box, there we go. And we also want not just we want all people on here. So we want by push again. We want John Cena in here. And this is where you can go to. You can look at people from DSW. So there's MVD, Kenny Omega as well, and also on OVW as well. So we wanted to bring in CM Punk for a match we could do without having to call him up from development. But that's not what we're going to do right now. We're going to book this match, have interference. In fact, we need interference from Edge if we're going to book it like in the real world. Edge is going to interfere. And we'll go back to the ECW brand there. Right, so segment length. You can either use the slider or the add 5 minutes and that sort of thing. So this will be the match length, and I think we want probably about 20-21 minutes. We'll go like that. Referee you can select, or it will automatically populate the various referees. We'll go with Scott Armstrong for the main event. We'll do that. Announcers, we're just going to have Joey Styles and Taz. Obviously this all pre-populates, and if you click on it, it will remove them. Agents are just generally any agent who's got the best skill. Pat Patterson's got 94. Is he the best agent? We're going to have Pat Patterson being the agent for this match. Match gimmick, you can go through and add the various gimmick matches. So there's ambulance, barbed wire, battle royal, bra and panties, which would be interesting for this one. No, it wouldn't. And is there a specific hardcore gimmick? There isn't really, is there? Let's have a look. Extreme? No. Hardcore? Hardcore. Okay. What? None of those. None of those. Okay. Right. Titles. We want the WWE Championship and the ECW Championship. So you can basically select all of the championships if you really wanted. We do that. Finish. We want the winner to be Rob Van Dam. It's not going to be clean. That's for sure. It's going to be outside interference. The loser is going to be John Cena. It's cheap, I know. I'm sorry. You can go through. There's loads of different finishes. So the unique ones will be dependent on the match type you add in. But there's DQ finishes, there's count-out finishes, cheap finishes, and then clean finishes. Do that. Finishing move, we'll do a 5-star frog splash. You can set the move as well, which is good. Close that there. Hopefully Cena will be chuffed. You can also enter various bits of descriptions for what you're doing and how you're doing it, and when you go into angles, that'll be a lot easier to do. So we'll do that right there. And in fact, do we want to set it for just the WWE Championship match? Set that, save, and then afterwards we'll add an angle. Do we have a look at angle templates? What are they doing? Ambush. Okay, so there's ambush, authority figure. These will probably be added to at some point, so you can basically just put it in and drop the people in there. It will populate the angles themselves. Right, I'm just going to add an angle to go in afterwards. Add a story beat. Now this is where I've got to remember how to do things. So there's attack, there's brawl, there's celebrations. Is there a way of doing it so we can do Rob Van Dam getting a celebration here? And do we have options to... See, I can't remember whether there's an option to add a title in here or not. So let's see. Matches made, promo, romantic interview, contract signed, chase. Is there anything for adding or changing championships? Potentially not. Okay, so let's cancel out that. We'll have 3 minutes there. And then we'll call it RVD Celebrates with both titles. We'll go and add the ECW Championship back to the match itself. Rob Van Dam is the new WWE and ECW Champion. Should we just suggest he isn't aware that Edge's interference led to his victory? So we'll just, it kind of similar to the real match, but we'll just add that in there. That can go there. You just drag and drop. Go into edit as well and add the ECW Championship onto it. Save the match there. Right, what I'm going to do now is, instead of booking through the whole thing on pre-booking, I'm going to do that. Well, in fact, whilst let's just have a look at our full workers, and let's just go and sign to Jiri, because I know he was on the show. Can we sign him to a one-night deal? He's got an informal agreement with All Japan, and you just basically go in here and click this begin negotiations button. We want an informal agreement, and it's just a week. We'll do it. That's his worker preference. Gate percentage per appearance, revenue percentage per appearance, hiring veto, creative control, travel expenses, wage matching. You can do all the little extras to here, and it tells you what the worker wants as well. And let's just see. Preset gimmicks. I don't remember preset gimmicks. Let's just have a look. He is going to be a face. He's not going to be an evil foreigner. We'll just give him an extremist. Should we give him an extremist? Has he got entertainment skills? 54. Selling. Where's selling? I can't see selling on there. Unless I'm being blind. Okay, let's look for just how do we describe mysterious? Is that Glee? Is the one mysterious? Yeah. Video angle boost, entertainment skill requires selling skill. Well, I mean, we'll just go with it. Okay, make offer. He's accepted. He's joined us for a week. And he'll face someone at ECW One Night Stand. Right, so we've got him on. If we go onto our roster and search by brand. Now we want to filter. Hang on, how do we do it? Filter there by brand. Can we filter? So no brands. Who's not on a brand? So Danny Doring, you need to move onto. How do we flick him over to a brand? That's how you change his name. Do we need to go into something else? Maybe not on here. Change push, change character, talk to work. No, okay, so we need to go to brands page. Brands here. It's just figuring out how to do things. No brand assign. We want Tajiri to change brand. That's how you do it. I remember it now. ECW, Danny Doring. You can go to ECW as well. Any of these guys actually want to be on the ECW brand? No, not by the look of things. Okay, we'll go like that. Right, as I said, we'll jump forward now until I actually booked the show and run it and show you how shows look like on Pro Wrestling Sim. That's what we've currently got pre-booked. This will be populated and we'll click the start show button in a second. Alright then, we have pre-booked as much of the show as I'm going to pre-book. I think we are pretty close to... We've got 105 minutes out of 120. We probably could add a few more angles and do a bit more, but I just want to get through and run the show and show you things. So, we've got all of the matches and angles I want booked. We could either start the show by clicking Start Show here, or we could go into this one and click Book Event. I don't know which one's easier. We'll just do that. And we're at the booking page that we were just on. So maybe that's how we could have done it. Anyway, I think I will put them in the right order. So it ends with the final segment at the bottom, which is opposite to what I was originally thinking. And I also noticed that there's, if we can go in, there's no DQ as a match gimmick. So I've done that for all of the matches that need to be no DQ. So there we go. Right, let's just run the show and see what it looks like and how different it is. And I don't know where I need to put my face camera so I don't block things, but we'll do that anyway. Right, we start out with Taz kicking Jerry Lawler's ass. Few people were offended by Taz's promo. Of course they were. Why not? Taz makes Jerry Lawler tap out the Taz mission and then cuts a promo welcoming us to the new ECW. Everyone learned by working with Jerry Lawler. That's good. The brawl got a 51%. The promo got an 81%. And, you know, offended a few people, but the Edge seemed to improve the crowd reaction. Got a 66 overall. No idea whether that's good or not. We can toggle the show outline. I'll keep it on. But that's good, I think. Move on. First match of the night. Only a 2.5 star match, but it's Kurt Angle and Randy Orton. They were trying to steal the show. Kurt Angle's performance was much worse than usual. Randy had a boost, star power added to the match, and Michael Hayes helped. Kurt Angle helped. Got a little popularity boost for Angle. Little detriment to Orton, but not too much. Crowd reaction was 89%. Final score 82. So the match quality was a 69, which was nice. But overall 82. That's again good. I'm surprised the match quality was low. I'm guessing Angle's a little bit worn out by this point. But that's not a bad way to start the show. Move on to Tajiri and Super Crazy, who's technically on SmackDown, facing the full-blooded Italians with Big Guido at ringside. Gets a 40 overall. Super Crazy gets the popularity boost from the victory. And generally, the crowd didn't care and were vocal about it. Thanks, ECW fans. Thank you. 4 ECW originals, you don't care about them. Anyway, crowd didn't like it. Match quality was okay. Overall, got 40. Moving swiftly on, Rey Mysterio and Sabu. Again, we're sticking pretty much to the actual show, so don't see anything groundbreaking here. It's just looking at the game. Match quality was only a 61%, which gets 1.5 star. I'm not sure what scale that works on. But Rey Mysterio successfully defends the World Heavyweight Championship. They had bad chemistry, though. Timing all over the place, which obviously hindered things. Crowd liked it, 73%. Gets us 69. Nice overall, though. It's a little bit different because Rey wins rather than it being a no contest, but fine. I like how you can see past ratings for angles and matches already. But that's okay. And then we get an Angle which only gets a 50, which is a shame. Just Incredible comes out to cut a promo. Sandman makes his entrance. Kane's the living bejesus out of Justin and drinks beer. Tells him to shut up. There we go. Gets a 50. Gets Sandman on the show as well. And everyone's popularity goes up ever so slightly from here. No real notes about the segment. We'll move on to the next one, which is a bit of a chaotic one, as it's Edge, Foley and Lita against Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk and Beulah McGillicuddy. Edge wins in the end to get the job done there. Foley and Edge get a popularity boost. Lita somehow doesn't, even though her performance was boosted. Beulah was struggling at the end. Funk was struggling at the end. Edge did the heavy lifting, of course he did. 72% for the match rating, half star for the match quality, which is a 51%. I think that is relative to the company you're working as that the star rating will work. So if I was a really small company, 51% might be like 3 stars. I don't know. I'm just assuming there. 65 overall. Again, fine, not bad. I don't know whether this show's going to tank or not, to be honest, but Foley and Edge get the victory. Then Tanaka and Balls Mahoney, with Tanaka getting the victory. Didn't really help anyone out this one. Crowd didn't care about either of the match at all. Dean Malenko helped, but yeah, crowd didn't care. Match was okay, 61%. Crowd didn't care at all. Gets a 39 overall. Brings the crowd down a little bit, but then we get our main event entrances. Cena enters to massive boos. RVD is the absolute hero. So we get 100% for John Cena's entrance. Star quality helping. RVD's entrance gets an 81. Overall gets a 91. Nice averaging out there. And we go into the main event, which I'm hoping, if I click the right button, will be a good one. And it's not bad, actually, at all. RVD is the new WWE champion and new ECW champion. Finish hurt the match slightly with Edge's interference. It doesn't say anywhere that Edge interfered. It should, but it doesn't. Maybe I should have made a comment about it. Who knows? But Edge's interference gets the job done. RVD doesn't realise. Maybe it's because RVD doesn't realise that Edge has interfered. Because clearly the game doesn't show it. Should show. It should show that Edge interfered somewhere. There. Oh, it does. Maybe if you scroll down, Edge just pops his little face in. Look at that. Anyway, that was the finish. 91% for the match. Crowd rating. Match itself gets a 60, which is 1.5 stars. Overall, 83. So that's jolly good. Afterwards, RVD celebrates with the new ECW Championship and the WWE Championship. Gets a 79 overall. Ends the show. And is that good? The most... We got 75. And that's hitting production settings. We could have got a 78 if we'd got better production. Is that good? No idea. But we've hit the cap of our production, so that's good. I mean... I'm not sure what that is. That's glitched a little bit because each angle has got the same description. Anyway, end the show. Move on to Monday. But I'm not going to move on to Monday, but that's what we would be doing. We'd be booking Heat and Raw. Terry Funk's leaving. Tanaka's leaving. Bueller's leaving. Fuel TV have signed in. Yeah. Yeah, they've left. Lots of contracts elsewhere. Anything else to note? So Triple R had a show as well. It's mail. There's loads of mail. Joe, there's drug tests everywhere. Everyone's failed drug tests. RVD. Benoit. Val Venus apparently failed a drug test. Jerry Matthews. Get Angle. Test. Just incredible. What do we do if we click reply? Okay, we can... Okay. Fine. Suspension. Fire. Send to rehab. Talk. Last chance. Let's force a rehab visit on Just Incredible, shall we? Yeah. Make decision. He's not going to be happy about that. Oh, he is. No, he's not. No, he didn't have a choice, so he's not happy. Sorry, Justin. Don't care. You can do that with everyone else. You can see the revenue made and the number of viewers for each of the... what's the word? Networks. Summary of the show. Got number of tickets. Tickets sold. Comes into great... Yeah, booked total a night of... Okay, so the gate share clause and contracts. And promotional war. We're at war, apparently, with TNA. Cool factor, we're drawing. Production quality, we're winning. Show quality, we don't win because they've not had one. I guess this happens every week. This is what happens every week. Best star quality, wrestling skill, entertaining, best looking, popular. Oh, this is good. This breakdown's really good. We're winning. We've won everything. There we go. I'm guessing that happens every week, that little breakdown. But the people have left. Loads of people failed a drug test. Lots of news. We'll see about that. Show results. Triple R did a show, and it had... Yeah, it was okay, I guess. Does it show us the... Oh! Sorry, make everyone's face turn up. Okay, it doesn't show you the overall. It shows you the match ratings. Wonderful. Okay, excellent. Right, that is Pro Wrestling Sim. I think that's where we're going to leave it. I hope you enjoyed this look at Pro Wrestling Sim. It's been a while since we've played it. There's RVD. We'll just finish on his face. Yeah, I like it. It's quick to book. There's a few things that I prefer compared to TW. There's a few things that I prefer TW about. It's smoother. It's easier to navigate. There's a lot less clicking and going around random screens and getting stuck on one screen because something else is open. Feels more intuitive. This is just generally what everyone always says about the two games. Like, the interface is much better. It looks more modern. It was so much easier to install the mod. Literally just click the button on Steam and it was there. It seems more intuitive. I think the booking engine is getting better compared to what it was before. There's a lot of presets, which I like. It's not all freehand. The way the angles are put together, I think, works better than TW's implementation of the same system. I think TW's angle system was basically their interpretation of the one in this game. That still feels a little bit smoother and less clunky. The way some things are displayed would be a little bit better, like when there's an interference in a match, it's not shown. But generally speaking, I like Pro Wrestling Sim. I think I'm probably going to stick with TW for my long-term saves, but I might keep dipping back in and out on this game. Whether it's this save or another save, I'm not sure. But if you let me know your thoughts. If you want to see more Pro Wrestling Sim content, I'm more than happy to try and fit it into my schedule. But I like the game. I definitely would recommend it if you want to try something different from TW. It's a lot of a different experience. It's a lot more simplified and is very much a standalone you booking rather than the world being simulated around you, which you get a lot in TW. This is more all about what you are doing in your company. There's very little... Well, it happens, but it doesn't feel as alive in the background for the rest of the world. But generally, I like it. I've got no complaints. Well, I've got a couple of complaints. But the way the angle's glitched a little bit in the show results, it's a bit strange. I mean, if we go back to the show now, I was trying to wrap things up, but I'm going back onto it. So, event history here, you can see. Okay, they've come back properly on here, and when you add notes in, it will get saved as well. You can copy event to clipboard. I don't know what it does. It gives you the total rating there. Does it give the same total rating for Triple R? Yes, it does. They got a 59. Sold out. That's nice to see. Okay, but yeah, I like it. I like the game. There you go. Simple as that. I like the game. I do like TW9 as well, so I'm not going to leave it, but Let me know your thoughts. Which game do you prefer? Do you prefer Pro Wrestling Sim? Do you prefer Total Extreme Wrestling? And what do you like about either of them? Share in the comments. I'll discuss with you. And we'll do more videos like this in the future. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe. Go and thank you for all the stuff. If you want to join the Patreon as well, the link in the description. All the great people who are supporting on Patreon. Your names will be on screen at the end of the video in a second. But thanks again. Thanks a lot. More Pro Wrestling Sim content coming your way, possibly. But local to global is definitely going to keep happening. So check that series out. See you on the next video. Goodbye.